Kia ora, my gorgeous YouTube whānau. Well, it is time to show you my Christmas journal, and she's obviously not as packed full finished as the ones that I actually sell, but she is finished to the point where I will keep adding to her, if that makes sense. So if this was a writing journal I was making for someone, this is probably what it would look like, so that it's got extra room for later on. Now, if you don't want to listen to all my waffling, there is a quiet flip through, which you will notice that there's a card appearing up the top on the right, and also I will pin it to the comments and put in the description as well. So you have seen me probably do the cover. I did a time lapse of that, and at the same time I was doing the spine and the back. Oh, little extra there. She has 6 signatures, and I sewed them in a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I believe there's about 112 pages in her, so she's a biggie. At the moment she's not crocodile, but trust me, when I have added everything I'm going to add, she is going to be crocodile. I have not finished, I haven't decided what I want to do on the signatures yet. I was going to put like little bells on them, but then that's going to stop her from standing up potentially. So I might make little tags possibly that actually sit inside, and I'll cut these a little bit shorter. So that's something that I'm still doing. How I did her closure. So I've got these 2 picture hanging hook D-rings here, and then I've got these little swivel hook clasps, and I've just put those on and tied some lace to hold them together. That will allow me room so that I can, when she grows, I can still close it nicely. She has a little charm tag here with a pretty little rusty bell. That guy is double-sided, and that little house I have just resined into. It doesn't have a back to it, that one. So you can either undo her by undoing these, or by undoing the lace. So when we open her up, she is huge. She actually measures about 20 by 20. So in inches, what's that? About 7.5 by 8. So she's, yeah, a little bit rectangular, but more square than rectangular. So on this side, the whole reason why I did this journal is because we're not that great at taking photos. And I realized that when I looked back to try and find some, which is why this contains 4 years worth of photos. So in here, this is the only photo that I have from 2018 of my son and I, and I've just written that Chloe and Sara-Lee, only Christmas photo taken. And then down here I've got a picture of myself and my partner and my mum and me and my brother. 2017 was quite a sad one. That was the last Christmas that we had with my granddad, and that's a photo of him and my nana on their wedding day that I've popped in there. And down here I was quite good and I took quite a few photos that year, so that's got quite a few family photos in it, but that's all we've got. So I'm hoping that knowing that I've got a journal to fill, it will remind me that I need to take some photos, and even if people aren't with us, I will hopefully get them to take a photo and send it to me and pop it in here as well. Now these tabs, if you'd watched the storybook idea, I haven't even finished doing those yet. So they're going to say the stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be here. And that's how I'm going to find each page of the storybook throughout the journal to read it as a story to my grandies one day. So that's "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and it just had these beautiful illustrations which inspired the feeling for the whole journal. So you'll see those storybook pages are left untouched so that I can read them. And then I've got these gorgeous, I mean, just listen, glimmering, shimmering, brilliantly bright. The tree was a truly magnificent sight, but someone was waiting to meddle and play, to get up to tricks in his usual way. This is from the book Slinky Malinky, and you probably don't know Linley Dodd because she's a New Zealand author, and she's most famous for writing the Harry McClary books. But Slinky Malinky is almost the protagonist, no, the antagonist in the Harry McClary books, and I absolutely love Slinky Malinky. Slinky Malinky is a black pussycat who always gets into trouble and scratches poor Harry McClary. So I've put that throughout as well, but not the whole book, and it doesn't continue as a story. These beautiful German scraps. Thank you so much, Patty. So that's from Patty Lang's Sacred Memento. She sent me a sheet of those, and as soon as I got them, that was when I decided, okay, I'm doing a Christmas journal. That was the exact kind of aesthetic, that whole Victorian Saint Nick kind of feel. And then I've just put some washi tape top and bottom. Now that's not real washi tape, that's faux washi tape. What I did was I got some washi tape paper, sticker paper that you can buy off Temu, and I put all of my Christmas digital papers that I have from Etsy onto one sheet in lines, and I printed it onto the washi sticker paper, and then I cut them out. And I ended up with all of these amazing bits of washi sticker that are exactly what I want. So you know how you buy washi sticker and you get like 6 rolls, and there's probably 2 or 3 that you really like and 3 that you never use? Well, this is a fantastic solution for that. So I highly recommend. So I made a few little so that I can move these around. I think I've made up to 27. So they're just hidden paper clips so that when I do fill out a certain year, I'll use them to identify what page each year is. And then we just flip her open there, and I've just got another little tag. That's what we had for Christmas lunch in 2024. I haven't finished writing in there yet, and that will probably be maybe some photos. I'm not sure, but we'll see how we go. It might actually be the photos of my son's march out, because that just happened yesterday. I put that in a post. And I know that's not Christmas related, but it's so close to Christmas this year, and it's a momentous occasion, so that might be what that page there is for. Over the page, that'll probably be this year's Christmas story. And then there's another storybook page. This beautiful old metal etched plate from one of my gorgeous books. I just thought that looked really wintry. And then I just cut a whole lot of little square scraps of fabric and some lace, and obviously you can see I put them together, glued them first. I did put them onto a piece of paper. There's a piece of paper running down there just to make it easier to glue them onto first before I sewed through them. Over here, my lovely friend Sonia, she used to be my boss at my last school, gave me a whole lot of bits from her mum, and the Edmonds cookbook in New Zealand particularly is a really nostalgic cookbook. Everybody had one in their home. That's just, it's not a tuck spot or anything, but it is on mat board so that it pops up a little bit. And then I've just got, that's from the Charles Dickens Christmas Carol, and I've just got a couple of little bits in there that I could write notes on. And then over here, gorgeous Holly Hobby image. I have put the 2026 there, but obviously it won't stay there, and I have room behind that, so that's a nice, what have I got here, scrap piece. Nice large pocket that I can put something, a nice big journaling card in there. That might have the 2026 story on it potentially. And I mean, I'm still going to be adding to this. I might even add a cluster down here if I'm not happy with it. It truly will be a work in progress. It's been something really different for me to make a journal that I know I'm keeping. So these are these little tags that I mean, you could write on the back as well if you want. It's actually a freebie, so if you do want this, pop over to my community on my posts, and there's a freebie for this one. But I'm just going to give everyone one each, and they have to fill out their name, and then the person most likely to say I'm full first, most likely to go back for seconds, most likely to eat dessert before dinner, most dramatic reaction to the food, and most likely to claim they're just having a little bit and then don't. And these are also a little freebie that I've put up of little Christmas Carol snippets, and they're on this kind of aged paper. That one's one as well, so that's on my community post page as well, so if you want to grab those. And then in this side I just made a masterboard and some little slits to put the 3 of them in. I had originally made it so that all 6 would go in, but because of the eyelets they kept lifting up, which is why I have 3 in that side. Little spot for journaling there, and this is a Christmas Carol page from a Charles Dickens 1940s book that I managed to get. Over this side I've just got little bits and pieces in here just to journal on, and that's a little pocket there too, as well as the tuck behind. Over here just a nice blank page for some journaling for a Christmas year, and I've just put a couple of tags in a nice piece of Christmassy paper, and then I've just fold pleated some book pages. I made a big long one, and then I sewed down it, and I've just made some trims by putting some, that one's got beautiful green velvet ribbon on it. Over here again, either this is going to be for photos or it's going to be for more writing space, I'm not sure. And that guy there is also a little tuck. So these pages from the Slinky Malinky book, they were just white. And what I did was I actually, because they're kind of shiny paper, it's hard to explain, every time I put the dauber on them, it showed where the dauber was. So I just got a wet wipe and smushed that ink around a little bit, and it's just aged it nicely. Again, this is that printed washi tape that I did, and then I just put a couple of stamps in a Tim Holtz. I finally splashed out and got a Tim Holtz ephemera kit, Christmas ephemera kit. I love that. Slinky Malinky with mischievous glee crept from the shadows to climb up the tree. There he is. And this is a beautiful original page from one of my girls' own bound annuals. I haven't done anything to the back of that yet. Not sure if it might have a photo and just some writing, but like I say, this isn't as finished as a journal would be if it was, you know, one that I was selling as an art piece per se. That's just a little charm I made with 2 genuine stamps. Obviously one red, one green on the back, a little tab there. And this guy, that's just a picture of our 2022 Christmas tree, writing space on the back. And this is a little pocket there, but also those 2 I have left as tuck spots as well in case I put a photo in. I mean, I might move that completely. Over this side, just another journaling spot there with a pocket. I'm not even sure that that is a Christmas piece of music, but many happy returns of the day sounded good, so I popped that in there. And that's another one of those snippets from that freebie that I've created. Just a little masterboard, that's the original, not a copy. And I hand dyed some without gloves. Had hands the colour of festive homicide for about 3 days, but that's alright. Just a little applique that I dyed, and then it's just on some ledger paper, little transfer sticker up there, and just a few little bits that I can write on, add a little bit of lined paper on later. Haven't done anything to that side. more of the storybook. And over here, just room to write, tuck spot up here, and a tag that I can write on as well. So yeah, you'll see there's a few pages that I haven't done anything with yet, and I'm fine with that. There's another 2027, which I'm thinking will be further that way. I've just popped it here for now because it helps hold these two beautiful old pieces in that still have room to write on them. So I'll probably actually use those to write on our Christmas memory. Don't think it'll be 2027 though. Over here, just a brown paper bag pocket. I just made that one with some screwed up packaging paper. Cute little winter scene there. A bit of masterboard behind and a doily behind that. And another tag that I made out of that same masterboard. Just lined it with some old lined paper. And a tag that's coming up. If it's not already, I can't remember, sorry, but that's another freebie. I made those and have made a digital of them that I'm sharing as a freebie. Another page. This is what I intend to do with all of them. I need to extend them a little bit so that the tabs stick out and you can see them, so that I can find them, so that I can use them as direction for when I read it. Haven't done anything to that side yet. These, I thought I might just put a title up here with a prompt. So they're just little gift tags that I would put Sara-Lee on the front, and then on the back I want everyone in the family who's here to put their favourite part of Christmas this particular year on the back. And over this side, that's just part of that same Christmas Carol freebie that I've got there. I think I made one that has a white background and one that has a brownie old paper background, but I can't be sure because that one isn't printed on the brown rustic old paper one. I have just made a tuck spot out of that, so I cut it into a tag shape. Got an old playing card back there, a couple of circles, doilies, some lace, and just a old postcard for now. I probably won't leave that there because there's no room to write on it, or I will cover that and write our own memories on there at a later date. And it's just on a envelope that I covered with some tartan kind of Christmassy coloured fabric. And then I have just got a simple Christmas card, vintage Christmas card in there to write on. Whether or not I add lined paper to that first before I write in it to cover the message, I'm not sure. Just a little spot to write there. And another tag out of the masterboard there, and just another little printable. I haven't bothered to line all of these, like I say, because it's mine. So if the white on the backs bothers me, that's something that I can do that year when I'm filling it out. Over here, just a little tag that I have made. That's how it's tied on, so that it can be pulled off and written on the back, because there's room to write on the back. And then there's just a little spot of paper there as well, with just a little hidden pocket in there. On the other side, just a little spot to write there. This is just a genuine document I haven't done anything with yet. More of the storybook, an old envelope that I partly opened up so that it would give me more room to journal on. I haven't done anything to that page yet. And this side has the flap folded up, so it could be a little tuck spot. This guy, so that's just washi tape, and that was going to be a page edge trim, but I just turned it into a little belly band, and I just made a little pocket with one of these magnetic button clasps, and I've made it so that it opens up. I need a little secret space because I have an idea. When my son, and this is what I'm talking about, the waffling. When my son was, he would have been only about 6 or 7, and I was working and studying, and I was a single mum, and we had quite a budget, and I could never afford to be the tooth fairy unless I let the tooth dry out first until the Wednesday when I got paid. So we always had it either in a cup or on a dish in the bathroom. And one day I heard my son, an absolute calamity, coming from the bathroom because he realised that he had had a drink of water, and either he had used that cup and swallowed his tooth, or he had rinsed it out down the drain. I said, don't worry about it, Lyle, it'll be okay. We'll just write the tooth fairy a note. So I wrote the tooth fairy a note, and then Kalal finally went to sleep. And I got a little tiny piece of paper, and in the tiniest writing I could possibly do, I just wrote a note that said, thank you so much, Kalal. That was a very lovely tooth and so dry and clean. You looked after it very well. I hope you don't mind. I used some of your dental floss to abseil down the drain to find your tooth, and I found it. So here's your reward. And ever since then I thought, how cool will it be to put teeny tiny little envelopes in, and this is when I have my grandies, which I haven't done it yet, where they can write a message to the elves to tell Santa what they want, and then they could receive a teeny tiny little note that gets tucked in while they're sleeping that's from the elves saying, we have handed on your Christmas wishes to Santa, and he says that you've been very good children. But yeah, I thought if I pre-make little envelopes and little pieces of paper, I could just maybe pop them away in there, and I'll know where to find them. See, nothing done to that page yet. This one here, I just made a little bunting banner, and this is just on cardstock, and I just glued some old Girls Own paper to it. I made these little discs, which are on craft cards, so they're a little bit higher than the actual bunting flags, and these are just brads that look like flathead screws. I got those off, and I need to get some more. I'm pretty sure they were on AliExpress, and so I cut them out. I placed them on here as I wanted them. I just drew a little line in pencil so that I knew where they went back together when I'd glued them, and then I put the brads in last. I have glued down there, and down there onto the page so that it creates a little tuck spot. So all of this part here is unglued. And I've just got another one of those beautiful Santa Claus German scraps there, because I didn't really want to cover all this advertising, and made a little, well, quite a large journaling card for 1 year of Christmas whenever we get to that one. And those are genuine stamps, aren't they gorgeous? I only had a couple of those ones. And then that guy just slides back up into there, and I could put a photo in here, or I was going to put some lined paper, but I thought no, I'll just wait until I actually fill that page out to see what I want to do with it. Lovely brown craft stock here, no detail whatsoever. Over here, I've just popped this in here for now because I was going to stick it on a page, but I hadn't really decided what I wanted to do with it. It may stay there. Just some little, so those are little, I think they're called jewellery pendant trays. I got them off Temu, and they're just metal, they're metal backed, and I just punched a picture and resined the inside, and I just love how much that, see, if that wasn't there, just adds something to that cluster. And I've just lined, it's an old junk journaling pocket, and then I've folded this part up. So there's room in here for a nice long tag, so I'll make a tag for there. This is also a pocket here, and then there's also a pocket in the side. So it's a really cool idea, and it's not my idea. It might have been Crafty by, is it Sharon? I'm sorry, I can't remember. If I can find it, I will put it in the description below. But yeah, it's just a junk mail envelope. This side's opened, that's folded up and glued, and then yeah, you've got a really cool use for an old junk mail. And that was AA insurance that I've just covered, and I did tea stain it or coffee stain it before I made it though. This is the other side of the envelope that I've done nothing with so far, but this is kind of the idea of what I will do with it. So 2 writing spots, just I've got a little bit of writing there. That is 19th, is it 19th of the 12th? It might be about 1912, and then just a pretty old blank Christmas card that I can write in and journal in as well. Nothing done with this page yet other than a little cluster and a little charm that I made, and that's shiny, and that's just clear nail polish. And if that yellows, great. I would actually prefer it if it goes a bit yellow and aged over time. It's the other side of that document. Like I said, I've done nothing to it other than reinforce it with some of my homemade washi tape that I printed so that it was strong enough to withhold sewing through it for the signature. Just a little envelope there that I have left as a pocket so that something can go in there. Haven't done anything with that page. Whatever I do with this page, I do not want to cover that, because that's exactly why I put this here in the first place, because it kind of looks like a reindeer. It's not. It's an axis, which I've never heard of before in my life, but it looks Christmassy to me, so I want to leave that as is. Another blank page to do what I want with, part of the storybook. Tutorial on this one, just this little opening window, and nice big journaling card in there, and writing space behind as well. Another blank page, more of the storybook, more little pieces that I haven't done anything with yet. Exactly the same process as the last one I explained, except I kept them all on top of each other neatly rather than turning them slightly, and there's no lace. I love that image. Wouldn't get away with that now. Just a belly band, haven't got anything in there yet. Might be photos, might be a space I need in the future for writing. We'll see how we go. Over here, just a little printable spot to write, and lots of room left in the pockets as well, so if I do need to just grab a piece of ledger paper, ink the edges, write a whole scraft of information on it, I can still tuck it in behind there. But this guy has plenty of writing space as well. Just some old advertising, so that's genuine old advertising. That's a printable from Etsy. I have not listed the printables that I got from Etsy because honestly I bought about 10 to 15 of them, and you'd never figure out which one was which anyway if I linked them below. If there's something you're really interested in, please by all means ask and I'll try and find it for you. Another really old envelope that I've just made some little tags for, kept it quite simple, and just added, that was original, and that yellow tape was coming up, so I just glued it back down because I didn't want to replace it with faux yellow tape. I wanted to leave the original. Another spot in there to pop something that I haven't yet. See, this is how the Slinky Malinky pages were, so you can see the difference between that and that. Huge difference, just with 2 pieces of washi tape and some tiny little addition to it. He's grabbing one of the ornaments. Naughty Slinky Malinky. And I love that this one had a black cat in it as well all the way through. So yeah, Needles is featuring my little black kitty. A nod to her and through all these storybook pages. I love it. Just genuine old 1800s ledger that I haven't done anything with yet, but it's just a background page. Another Slinky Malinky book. There's Slinky Malinky there. And another journaling spot in there with the other side of the envelope. Just a couple of clusters, ripped pieces of paper. Nothing too much to explain there. Genuine old stamp. Oh, that's a transfer. Those two there. Just rub-on transfers. More blank pages to do what I like with. So you can see she is going to be crocodile now, and why I said that. This little page just has pocket there, and a pocket there, and then I stuck it down properly so there's no pocket in behind. There's another pocket in here though. Beautiful vintage wallpaper that I haven't done anything with yet. Would look great just with a awesome photo, family photo on there. Just some writing space. Another little card tag to write on. Another old vintage Christmas card to write in. And there's another one of those trims that I made with the red velvet ribbon this time. Over this page, so that's just fabric backed onto cardstock. That's a huge piece of fabric that was meant to be an advent calendar, and I thought, oh, I could use those. So I've just cut ones out that I liked and used them in here. And then I've just got a library card that I can journal on. Another, I mean, isn't he awesome? He's so vintage and antique looking. And writing space on the back. Little cluster up there. Another Holly Hobby picture. And writing space on this side. That's from my Victorian album that I pulled apart and never did anything with. Over here I've just used 2 playing cards to make the 25, obviously red, not clubs or spades, and I've just turned another card, made a cluster, turned it into writing space on the back. I hope this is giving you some ideas. Oh, and you've got a pocket there as well. That's why I thought I'll share it now, so that if you're in the process of decorating yours or making yours, you'll have some ideas that you can use. Should have chose something better to show you that things are pockets than an old scrap piece of paper that I've cut bits out of. But there's a pocket there. It is part of the storybook, but there was so little on that page. There was no writing. It was just the picture of Santa in the sky. So I thought I'll just add something over here and then I can put a tag in there later. This is a tag, but it's just made into a tuck spot, and then that's a pocket there as well. So lots of room on that page. Make little notes on the ledger around it as well. Would look really cool in handwriting. Just a writing page. Just screwed up some packaging paper. I've stamped that with my lined stamp in red this time, and you got a little tuck spot up there as well, just with the back of a little mini playing card and a few bits and pieces that I have stuck on there. Haven't done anything with this page either for Slinky Malinky. There's Slinky Malinky. And just an envelope that I've put into the signature. That's actually with the other side of the Victorian album with the Holly Hobby one on it. So you've just got a little tag there to write on and 2 spots there as well to write on. And then what I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." So I haven't done anything yet with that back page. It might have pockets, it might, I don't know, it'll have something on there. And because I had moulded the cover, I had to figure out a way of putting these through, and you'll notice that they don't go through to the front cover, because this one was even more problematic. There was no way I was going to get it through there. So all I did was I got some cereal box. I cut 2, I think they're 2-inch or 3-inch circles, punches. I punched out 2 in the cereal box, and one in this fabric, which is on this card digital print that's on the front, and out of music paper. I sliced them in half perfectly. That's got 2 layers of the cereal box and then the pretty paper on the top. And in between these two, so I put this through the top layer of craft card, then glued those 2 half circles together, and then glued that whole piece onto the front and back. And I'm quite happy with how secure that is, how well glued down it is. I did grab some crimps and put them on either side while it was drying as well, but I'm pretty happy with how that closure has worked. So there you go. There is my big, beautiful, lovely, chunky lady in all of her glory, ready to fill out this Christmas's exploitation, exploits. And I don't tie a knot initially because that can make it quite difficult to undo. So I just tie it just with the bow, and yeah, there she is, and she will sit like that, decorated next to our tree every year from now on. So I hope you enjoyed that flip through, and I hope that you wandered off onto the quiet flip through if my waffling was getting too much or went there initially, because you know what I'm like. Either way, I hope to make another video post before Christmas, but we'll see how we go. If not, I hope that you all have a very special Christmas and time with loved ones, even if that is a furry little friend, and even if that's alone, if that's what you choose to do. But I hope you all have what you need this Christmas. And until next time, I love you guys heaps. Thank you for being with me. Mā te wā.